Welcome to Life with Noelle. I'm Noelle Aquila, and this is Everyday Evolution. The power of focus is actually a magical power. This is quite literally your ability to harness your attention to create the life that you want, the life that you really desire. I know that this might sound simple, yet how often do you find your mind beginning to wander off, thinking of many, many different things in a minute? So imagine there's this life that you really desire, or an outcome that you wish to experience. So this is at a specific tuning station. So just like when you're tuning into the radio, you can hear music on one channel, then a different station on the next. So this is the same as really tapping in and tuning into that reality of that life that you really wish to experience. So this might be a life of love, having the most loving relationship, or a life of abundance, prosperity. You can fill in your dream here. Yet there could be a lot of other things floating around in the mix, like doubts and fears, anxieties, questions about your self-worth. And know it or not, this is causing that frequency to fluctuate. 1 minute you're there, and the next minute you're not. So this is just similar to tuning into the radio and getting static. And of course, you can have different frequencies for each area in your life. You can be at one level with money, on another in your relationships, another on health, and in your career. And so it really is a matter of becoming aware where you are at in each of these. So imagine your focus, your attention as that intense pulsed light. It's like a flashlight, really focusing on one thing. And just as you know, what you focus on expands. The truth is, every single thing exists as a possibility until your focus is placed on it. So that's the power of your focus. And as you see, that signal must be strong. It must be really strong. This means that there is that power of manifestation in certainty, in being very, very sure. Now, I know this might sound easier said than done, but that's where the practice lies. And trust me, this is also the work I'm doing myself. You see, this power of focus, it is really all about tuning your mindset. And this can look like finding that right activity in your daily life. This means that small acts done each day, being so focused on those small acts, or keeping the big picture in mind, all in all compound to really big effects. So this means that your focus on the daily is so important, because it's easy to lose touch with this high frequency and instead fall into the victim mind, the mind of worrying and blaming. And this is where it's really good to catch yourself, because this is where you have that fluctuating signal, or in short, emitting static. 1 minute you're high, the next minute you're low. You must also become very aware that you're taking action from a high vibration state. I know that it is easy to want to take action out of fear or doubt, or even from feeling bad, because this serves to get you out of that feeling. Yet action taken from fear only leads you to being stuck in circles. And I've witnessed this both for myself and recently with an entrepreneur I know going through a really low time in business. Ultimately, actions taken from fear lead to contraction, to loss, dead ends. Remember, like attracts like. And the opposite is the same. When you take the time to center, to recalibrate from within, and act from certainty, then you begin to pull in more and more of the same. Synchronicities begin to happen as you work with the universe instead of using force. So this is all about learning how to navigate challenges with trust and with tuning into yourself first and foremost. Connecting with yourself and then your higher vision. Basically tuning in from the inside out. Now, there are totally different effects from where you begin, from where you take action from. And I've experienced both ends of this spectrum. So the most important thing during challenging moments is to really do that internal work to shift first. This means catching yourself in that moment and becoming really aware. And I understand this can be hard to do, especially since at times you can be wired to repeat similar patterns. Like anger and fear, they're wired into the brain. So there's a specific neural structure that keeps you in repeating that similar pattern. Yet the moment you catch yourself, make that decision to change and rewire these patterns, then those neural patterns, so the patterns in your brain begin to light up and rewire to be more aligned to love and service and positivity and certainty. So you're actually creating changes in your brain that begin to reflect in your life. And as you see, when you take action from joy, you begin to reap more and more of the same. So you can apply this to any area of your life, whether that's your relationships or money. You might want to check in and see what specific frequency or attitude do I have about, let's say, money. Whenever I get a bill or when I'm about to spend, what do I feel? Am I annoyed? Feeling like I was ripped off? Or can I be grateful for this opportunity, for this experience that is expanding my life in the present moment? So this is the inner work that comes from really beginning to understand your power as a creator, the power of your focus. Now, this focus can be applied also to your health, finding activity you really love to do. So in this way, you're looking at your health as a journey, being able to enjoy the process of being healthy by finding activity you really love. And at times, this can be hard because you're not used to it yet. You might not be used to preparing healthy meals or going for a walk each day, or in my case, doing yoga each morning. Starting can be really hard because the momentum isn't there yet. But as you do one act after the next, placing the power of your focus, of your positivity onto that one small act, you later on find that the force of the entire universe is behind you. It's all in the small acts. And these acts begin to build up into bigger and bigger acts as the force of the universe begins to build up that momentum. So this is also something that I'm working on myself. Planting produce, creating each meal so that it really nourishes me from the inside out, and finding movement that I love to do each and every single day. So in the past years, my practice personally was a yoga practice. And I remember starting this when, this was over a decade ago. But I remember starting this, and at first, it was very hard. I didn't know what to do. And so I would go at it bit by bit. Yet one practice led to another, and then to another, until the next thing I know, I was pretty much flying through my practice, doing this from my heart, not anymore thinking about it. And then later on, it turned into a business. And that's how the journey evolves. It can start with your health, but later on lead to being intertwined with your business or career. And as you'll see, all of life is interconnected. So the moment you feel dead or uninspired, that just means that you've lost contact with the greater dream. It's about time for you to tune in vision. Then the purpose is in the small acts, because each step is one step in the journey of 1,000 miles. And before you know it, you are off into the horizon, and it's not anymore your personal effort that is driving you. You see, this is the power of your focus. The focus on the small acts eventually lead to bigger acts, building momentum until you are one with universal force. So the other day, I realized how you can really actively apply this power of focus onto your relationships. And this means always training yourself to see the highest self in everyone. So the other day I was chatting with some girlfriends on relationships, love, and everything else in between. And normally you start to kind of look at both sides, the positive sides and the negative sides. It can be easy to get caught in the trap of complaining and focusing on negative. Yet what if you could bring your focus, your attention, to only see the best qualities in everyone, nothing else? This means that you're really focusing on finding the most positive qualities that exist in them. And in doing so, you begin to actively create your experience with that person. And this means that you're also calling out the highest self of that person. Each person might act differently towards you, and it seems like you don't have any control. But what's true is that it's a co-creation. So once you're in a specific dynamic with a person, whether this is your partner or your parents or friends, then this is about taking responsibility for how you're seeing them. Because everybody has and may have different experiences with that particular person. But what if you could focus your attention to only see the best in them? This means that you are really owning your power of focus, your power of creation, to manifest and bring about the best possible reality you could with that person. Now, this is truly what co-creation means, because In that sense, it's realizing that everyone is just a reflection of you. So you're actually actively also calling out the best in yourself when you see it in another person. And this is where we see how relationships can be really great teachers. The point where, things might be challenging, where you feel like a little bit reactive. Well, this is the point that is the way in. This is where you begin to tune in to how you're feeling, gaining awareness of your internal world, and refocusing your attention. Refocusing your attention to the good, to the positive, to love, to abundance. And this means that as you do so, you begin to become a master of creating your experience with anyone, in all areas of your life, and especially with yourself. So today I ask you, dear visionary, where are you going to place your focus today? Because it's all about remembering who you truly are. Thank you for tuning in today. For more, visit lifewithnoelle.com. See you again next Monday.